I'm 51. So what happens for me in 8 years? I at 59.
So 59 and a half, you can take out of your qualified retirement accounts or any retirement account without a 10% early withdrawal penalty.
Oh, with no taxes.
With no
penalties.
no penalty.
Oh.
If it's a traditional 401k or traditional IRA, which is tax deferred. See, a lot of people don't know this. They think it's tax free after 59 and a half. All your tax was deferred. The government gave you your free seed. Here's a little tax deduction while you're working. And when your harvest is plentiful, you owe us whatever your tax rate is on a big amount of money and all the gains. Thank you. Wow. So they tax you when you're on your giant harvest. So average people that do the right thing and save money, they don't realize that if they did the right thing for decades, they're going to be making more money not working, thus increasing their tax bracket. See, it's a misconception is when you're retired, you pay less taxes. Yeah, if you're broke.
Right.
Like if you're broke, you pay less taxes because you have no money.
Right.
But if you saved in IRAs, 401ks, mutual funds, ETFs, brokerage accounts, crypto, invested in real estate, acquired passive income, now your debt's paid off, your debt service is done, now you got the cash flow coming in. If you planned right and you were average, you're going to have more money per year than you did when you were working. So now by virtue of, even if tax rates don't go up, which we're at an 80-year low right now, taxes at 37% federal right now is the lowest it's been in 80 years.
Wow.
If
you make over $500,000 a year?
Well, it's a progressive tax system, right? So it starts, 10%, 12%, so it goes up with what you make, right? But right now, if you Google, and this is what I tell everybody, highest federal tax rate in U.S. history. They'll Google it.
He knows.
Yep. 94%. Yeah, what was it?
He just told me this on the way to yoga the other day. When was it 94%?
In the 60s.
Right after the Great Depression.
So people that your barons of that time were paying 94%.
Yeah, which is our not even barons highest federal tax rate. Because right now, if you're single in America, the highest 37% tax rate starts around $300,000 of income. Yep. Would you call that a baron? $300,000 in LA is living paycheck to paycheck.
If I'm right after the Depression, I'm doing well, I have to give 94% of my money to the government.
Yep. And then if you look, and this is why I tell people, Google it right now and let me show you this.
Wow.
Google 1970, 71%. So yes, that was a federal tax rate. Today it's 37. We are at historic lows.
Yeah.
In 1950, you'll see Ronald Reagan do a speech. America, we're dropping tax rate down to 50%. Crowds cheering. You can see the clip on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, balloons are going right.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah. And he says only 50% federal. That's not including state.
Right. And so then what happened? Is that how we accumulated the debt?
Boom.
Right.
So if you look at right now, we're about 36 trillion in debt. During that time, from like 1930 to 1980, we were relatively at no debt because the government tax rates were so high. Everything was pretty much almost subsidized. Right. But if you look in the 80s when Reagan dropped taxes to 50%, that's when you'll see the direct correlation of the national debt starting increasing dramatically because there was no more government funding from all this revenue coming in.
Yeah.
And so that's when the equity surged. Then they got rid of the gold standard. Nixon got rid of the gold standard using excess leverage. It used to be money couldn't be leveraged, right? If you borrowed, a bank lent $1, they had to have $1 in reserve because gold backed it. When they got rid of that, they started doing fractional reserve lending, which is today. Wow. They have $1 in reserve, they can lend out 10.
That's how I feel. I bought this house because everyone was like, you got to buy, you got to buy, you got to buy. And I spent a lot of money on the house. And now I'm like, why the fuck did I buy this house? I'm like, I could have lived off the interest and just rented an apartment. And I have all this money in this house, and I'm like, what am I doing?
It has become, people make it look like a down thing. Oh, you don't own? Well, you don't own either until you finish paying your 30-year mortgage.
That's right. That's right.
When that debt service is done, that's when you owe. Show me your deed. The bank has a deed. Stop making payments. Let's see who fucking owns anything.
It's insane.
Yeah, you don't own anything until it's paid off. And you have all these goons now, right? Passive income's nothing passive. You have these broke jokes talking about passive income. Well, but why don't you put, $500 in your savings account? Right, and pay off your credit card debt before you start talking about passive income. It's funny, like average broke people, I call them ballers on budgets, right?
That's me.
Like they're like, let's get passive income, dude. Why don't you just start making more money and making moves before you start talking about passive? What you're saying is you want to make money doing nothing.
All right, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you go. I got a car.
Yep.
All right. I got a car. I bought a car that I really liked. So stupid.
It's never stupid.
I bought a Tesla. I finance it. Okay. The Tesla is $1,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Now they've dropped the prices, right? You can get a Tesla for $300 a month, same car.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in this thing paying off the bank. I think I owe the bank like $40,000. The car is only worth $20,000. What do I do?
Okay, so did you buy it under your business or under yourself?
My accountant writes it off, the payment.
So because it's a lease or
And I financed it.
CPAs, assassins. CPAs are assassins, okay? They're doing their job. They're trained by the IRS. You think in CPA school there's a how to not pay tax 101?
Yeah.
They're agents of the IRS, okay? They're trained to audit or comply with the IRS tax code.
Call those communists.
Yeah, I call them assassins. Great guys, great girls, great people, right? But it's not their world to not pay taxes. Okay, so here's the thing. If I was involved, I go toe-to-toe, and I'm the undefeated champion going toe-to-toe with CPAs, okay? Because when I show them, like, oh, you're right. I know I'm right.
Yeah.
Like, just look it up. It's IRS tax code. Here it is, IRS, boom, boom, 412E3, boom, done, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Section 179. So when you are a business owner, which majority of people are not, right?
I am.
So average people don't get any benefits by buying or leasing, right?
Right.
So, but a business owner can. Over 6,000 pounds, you could use depreciation to write off against your income, ordinary income. Over 6,000 pounds. That's why most cars, 4Runners, Jeep Grand Cherokees, Tesla Model X, they're like 6,002 pounds,
Yes.
6,009 pounds.
I see.
They get over the 6,000 pound threshold because when you buy it, you could depreciate it and offset your income.
Okay, so wait, walk me through that.
'Kay.
So how do I depreciate
So
it?
depreciation, and again, everyone's situation is different, right?
Right.
And they change the rules. But let's just say easy math, okay? And thanks to these TikTokers that blew the secret, the government has changed it where you could do like 80% now. You could do. You used to be able to do 100, but they got smart. They're like, well, everyone's doing this, buying G-Wagons and depreciating off of income, right? Because these TikTok goons started giving away all our secrets that don't even know what they're talking
What
about.
does it mean, depreciate?
So this is what depreciation means. Say if you make, we'll use round numbers, okay? You're a business owner in California, you're successful, you make $1 million.
Sure.
Okay. So say if you're gonna, let's just throw that, right? Easy number, right? Because it doesn't apply
Let's say
to
this.
someone who does 100 grand as,
Yeah.
as well, right?
yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll use somebody that has a good income, okay? $1 million round number, because I don't want to do the math on 500.
Gross or net?
Gross.
Okay,
gross. So gross, and say on $1 million, now you start writing off expenses.
Yep.
Okay. Your studios, your camera equipment, your
that.
fuel, all these things, right? And so if you didn't have expenses, you would pay tax on $1 million. And say that $1 million, your tax rate is 50%, easy math. You owe 500 grand in taxes.
Yeah.
But now if you write off 100 grand on expenses, on office allowance, on all these things, and you write off 100 grand, now your taxable income is 900 grand.
Yeah.
So now you pay tax on 900, right?
Yep.
So the trick is to find reasonable and ordinary expenses that you write off on your business. Now here comes the depreciation on a car. So say if you need to go to different shoots or you need to go this, it's a business use vehicle. That G-Wagon is, say, $300,000. G63 AMG, I'm not even Mansory or Barabbas. Let's just say regular, okay? $300,000. Now on that $1 million, now you get a $300,000 deduction, depreciation. So you write off 300 grand. Now your taxable income is 700 plus your other 100,000. Now your taxable income is 600. If you didn't get that $300,000 deduction and your taxable income was 900, you owe 450 grand in taxes.
Yeah.
But because you wrote off that $350,000, you saved 150 grand in taxes.
Oh, God.
So really, you bought that $300,000 G-Wagon for realized 150 grand
But you can only do that once.
once every 3 to 5 years.